Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of the Rob Report on the go. I'm always on the go, right? Hey, I gotta find. Hey, look, it is what it is. I mean, can't sit in the house all day. Anyway, first of all, I want to tell you to like, subscribe, share, and check out the website, bobtvnyc.com, bobtvnyc.com. It give you some access to a couple other channels. And that's that. Let's get to the news. I got to get the promoting out the way. And if you want to help out the cause of Bob TV, I am trying to get a new laptop, the Windows Surface laptop, and I'm leaving it open for people to help me achieve that goal of getting that Windows Surface laptop. It's about a grand, and brother ain't got a grand like that to spend. So I'm believing that I can get some kind of help on that, and I really appreciate it. That way, I'm in New York, and the New York primary is going to be coming up soon, and I want to make sure that I can make sure I'm out on the field with my camera. I already got a camera. I need a microphone for the camera. I got a lapel mic, but I can get that. Don't worry about that. But I want to be able to take my laptop and everything on location, sit down at a table, talk to these people, and interview them out and about. But let's get into this. Kamala Harris is said to be weighing an endorsement of Joe Biden. Kamala Harris, female black Obama, well, half black. Well, she's not even half black. She's half East Indian, 25% West Indian, 25% Scotch Irish. So she is I would call her more of a interracial person. And that doesn't matter. I just don't like people playing the black card like they really truly are black. And this 1 ounce of black that racists came up is not true. You know, that's me. Look, I might have a little bit of Asian in me, but don't make me a full Asian person. Okay. Nevertheless, let me get off this. Kamala Harris said to be weighing an endorsement of Joe Biden. So Kamala Harris, the one who took shots at Joe Biden for segregation in the past, who tried to cover up for us saying, I don't think he's racist. Yeah, of course you're not going to think he's racist because you may be racist. Well, Rob, how can you say she's interracial? How can she be racist? Don't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're going to take a policy from Joe Biden and work it to its perfection to get black people in jail, to raise up your numbers, to help you do cheap labor and help you fight forest fires and threaten to put women in jail if their kids don't show up for school, not understanding the majority of those women are black, some Latinos, then you might be a little racist. You know, there's some black women that can't stand black men. They prefer a white man. Not because of love, it's because they don't trust a black man. Someone was raised to hate black men, but that's another subject for the Bobby Brown show. That could be a topic of the day. But no, you got some people think, for an example, I'm looking at news media and I'm realizing most of the gay black men are marrying gay white men. Now, if it's for the sake of love, yeah, but I'm like, man, I'm starting to see a trend. Most of the black men in news media, if they're gay, they're pushing toward the white men. I'm not, it's just a trend that I see. I don't see them going toward the black guy that's gay. So it's like, to me, if I feel like as a black man, and look, I'm straight as they come, but see, like the entire society is coming down on black men in general, straight black men. Nobody promote us. Nobody talk about us. We don't get a chance to seem like we're becoming a smaller minority now. Everybody's voice is being heard, but the black man's voice, the black heterosexual man's voice. Even the black women, heterosexual women, are starting to cut ties with us. And I understand we've done some things in the past because of our upbringing of our fathers and whole. Now, anyway, let me get off that. I'm going too far. But this weighs into Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris don't have a relationship with her father. Kamala Harris' mama moved her away from Berkeley, California to Canada to get her away from her black or half black, half Scottish white father. She very rarely talk about her father, but she sure talk about her mama. Look, I love my mama, but my dad is a part of my life. And even though, in the past, I had my issues with my dad, I love my dad. I'm going to talk him up. And you wonder why she was so easily able to put black men in jail. So easily to run black women in jail. She don't know what it's like to be a black woman in America. She don't, because her mom is Indian. And then you got Joe Biden, the guy who put forth segregation policies and school busing, which she called him out for, and the worst crime bill, the third most horrible piece of legislation to attack black people in history. She's weighing on endorsing him. Now, what they're going to try to paint this as the black woman endorsing Joe Biden, so this should secure his black vote. No, this is horrible. This is the black woman pulling her pants down, bending over and telling the black community, kiss her behind, because I'm going with the guy who came up with the crime bill to put your kids and you probably in jail. You may be a little older, but remember that time you was smoking that weed and we ran you in the remember that time your boy had a dime bag in his pocket and we ran y'all all in jail? She wants to support that guy. But yay, she took his policy and worked it to perfection. And she's weighing in endorsement of Joe Biden. That's why I said last video, endorsement don't mean jack. It's not going to save you because most of the people don't give a crap about one person making the decisions. Just like super delegates. One person vote is compared to 1,000 times my vote. That is not fair. The move, which would be unlikely to happen until after the Senate impeachment trial, could enhance her chances of becoming a vice president, but could also anger liberals in California. Well, she's losing in California, and she better be worried about her re-election. Because now the jig is up and Californians know about Kamala Harris. But she don't care. She's hoping she can get a VP spot because once she get a VP spot, she's set for life. But that VP spot is not gonna, I'm telling you now, Biden don't need her to secure the black vote. Biden believes he can get the black vote just on the power of Barack Obama. All I have to do is all I need to do is just get the endorsement of Barack Obama. I don't need your voice. I don't need you to support me. I'll take your endorsement. Thank you very much. I'll consider you to be my VP. But black, half black, quarter black girl, you ain't gonna be the president. You're not gonna be VP. His number one most valuable pick for VP is Warren because they think they can get the Bernie Sanders ground because they really believe that the world has been convinced that she's a female version of Bernie Sanders and she's not. I'm about convinced that she's more of a radical, independent people movement type of person as much as she is Cherokee Indian. Chief Layalata will be Biden picked because she's a woman and because they're more concerned about the progressive base than the black base. They should be concerned about the black base more than the progressive base, but Joe Biden figured he got enough black support that he's not concerned. But let me keep going. Senator Kamala Harris has yet to endorse a candidate in the Democratic primary race. Presidential primary race, but she has stayed in contact with former Vice President Joseph R. Biden. What's up with this Joseph R. Biden crap since she dropped out? Of course. It's called bootlicking. It's called kissing buttocks. It's called a, well, that's a little too graphic. Uh, you know, it's like fill me to the brim, but take the be off. This lady's something else. This lady's something else. Senator Kamala Harris is wearing endorsement of Joseph R. Biden. Why they put that out like that? Joe Biden. According to the multiple Democratic officials familiar with her deliberations, such a move could lift Mr. Biden's campaign and perhaps do even more to enhance Mrs. Harris' chances of becoming the vice president, but it could also anger the liberal bases in California. No, it's not going to do none of that because Joe Biden don't need her endorsement. Her endorsement is crap. It has no weight. She don't have no credibility. Tulsi Gabbard killed her. Tulsi Gabbard is the Eminem of politics. She gonna come after you, and when she come after you, she gonna Benzino you. She gonna Ja Rule you. Get out of here. Her career's done. She's lucky she'll get reelected to the Senate. She'll never be president after that. People know her record. It's over with her. An endorsement by Mrs. Harris, if she weighs into the primary race at all, would be unlikely to happen until after the Senate impeachment trial, said the official who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss private conversation. Yet she and Mr. Biden, the former vice president, have remained in contact since she exited the race. Joe, I wonder was she rubbing Joe's leg underwater. And had a long conversation in the immediate aftermath after her departure. I wonder what Joe Biden was sniffing that hair. Senator Harris remained focused on the ongoing impeachment trial of President Trump and said Chris Harris, a spokesperson for the senator, no decision had been made about whether she will endorse which candidate nor when the endorsement decision will be made. Well, she knows she got to endorse Joe Biden because right now, the only person that's in the lead is Bernie Sanders, and she's not a progressive. She's not a people movement. This Kamala Harris for the people? Get out of here. You mean it should have been Kamala Harris screw the people, not for the people. Democrats close to Ms. Harris says she wanted to carefully consider the potential impact of her endorsement, was mindful that the two of her female colleagues, Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota and Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, were still in the race and was uneasy about the prospect of backing a candidate only to see him or her lose in California. Mr. Biden has lavished praise on Ms. Harris, of course. He need California. And right now he think California likes her. And California don't like her no more. California found out who she really is. California, some of them knew that. Oh boy, let me tell you. Ms. Harris, since she departed the race, predicted she would have a wealth of political opportunities in the future. No more. It's over with. It's over. And when asked directly if he would consider her as his running mate, he said, "Of course I would." Boy, I tell you, boy, she probably got excited as that first night Willie Brown really got into her. A Biden-Harris reapproachment would represent an extraordinary turnaround in their relationship after she so memorably confronting him on the debate stage last summer. And yeah, at that same moment, Tulsi Gabbard so memorably turned around and cut her neck off and cut her legs off, and she's crawling around just on torso. She have no legs, no arm, none of that. Tulsi decapitated her. So go ahead with this so memorable confronted moment on the debate stage last summer. Yet there will be alliances and less surprise on closer inspection. At the outset of the Democratic contest, there were colleagues with each other. There was in large part because Ms. Harris served as state attorney general in California at the same time that Mr. Biden's son, Beau, was attorney general of Delaware, and the two young, ambitious Democrats had bonded. Bo Biden died in 2015. Who said they bonded? You just telling us stuff and we don't know if this is true. But Ms. Harris' friendship with the former vice president became badly strained after the first primary debate in June when she criticized him for past opposition to school busing. Now, why would you get upset with somebody because they bring up your record? It's like being in URL or King of the Dot rap battle and things like that. You know that if you enter those contests, they going for the worst of you. You got to be prepared for the worst, lowest cut to your gut. Because if you ain't ready for that type of battle rapping, you don't need to battle rap because you're going to take this personally at that moment. I mean, battle rap back in the day got you killed. And these kind of leagues will let you know if you're not ready, if you cannot just take this and be a man about it when they come after you, because they may come after your mama, they may have come after your kids, and they definitely gonna come after you. And if you can't handle it, don't join the URL. Don't go to King of the Dot. Because the whole point of battle rapping is to crush you, to shame you, to make you feel small. And that's the whole point of debating. To me, I see debating as battle rapping. Oh, we just want to respect each other. Yeah, you're going to respect each other after. But on that stage, you go for the juggler. You go after the record. You ain't got to get personal like in battle rapping, but at least you can get with the record. How she's going to get upset, they get attention because she pulled out his record. Tulsi Gabbard pulled out her record. And the whole entire Democratic Party was like, shame on you. Why? Because they wanted to replace Kamala Harris with Tulsi Gabbard. Remember, Tulsi Gabbard was the chosen one. She was the one that was being groomed up to be take Hillary's legacy to the next level. It's supposed to have been Hillary first, and then after that, Tulsi Gabbard. And Tulsi Gabbard said, nah, I don't want to be with y'all little shady mother. Nah, I'm out. And so they tried to replace Tulsi with Kamala Harris. Ms. Harris was trying to loosen Mr. Biden's grip on the African-American primary voters, and her searing references to her own childhood experience with the integration might have been a high point in her campaign. And she thought that was going to get black people on their side. No, because we know what you were doing. You had a T-shirt later on that night. I don't know who your publicist was, and your advisor and your marketer was, but it was horrible. But it came to the expense of an older white candidate who was already fending off questions about his records on matters of race. And Mr. Biden was personally stung by her attack, his advisor said, because he considered her a friend. Not on that stage, Doc. Okay, Bernie Sanders always talking about Joe Biden's my friend, but you attack him and expect him to just take it and be friends at the end of the day, right? So why would Joe Biden get upset? Get out of here with this stuff. Yet Mrs. Harris surged in the polls, did not last because she sucked. And the two candidates never sparred again in the same way. By October 8th, to both Democrats recall, they were getting along well when they ran into each other at the Des Moines airport before heading to Ohio for the debate there. More significant than their personal rapport, a Harris endorsement of Mr. Biden would politically be useful to both of them. A 55-year-old woman of African and Indian descent. I'm still trying to figure out where the African come from. Indian descent, I see that, because she's half Indian. Her mom is full upper elite, upper class Indian culture, which is great. Her dad is Jamaican. Her dad is from Jamaica, but that don't make you black. There's a lot of Jamaicans of various colors. It's predominantly black because of the slave trade. And plantation owner, Scotch-Irish plantation owners, purchased slaves there in that area. But if her dad, according to records, who's called her out now. Her dad did an op-ed on her, calling her out. Her dad history is interracial, biracial, Scotch-Irish, and Jamaican. So she's about 25%, if anything, African. That's if her grandmother come from African descent. She's no African American, though. She's an Indian American. She's an interracial person. All right, here we go again. Indian descent with law enforcement office credentials, horrible credentials. I mean, credentials come from the word credit. You have bad credit and good credit. It's still credentials. Mrs. Harris was already likely to be on the Biden short list. Why, I would not know. Should he emerge as the nominee, God help us if he do, because he's just another, a lighter version of Trump. Yes, she could bolster her chances to be his running mate if she backed his campaign at a critical time, particularly if he did not win in either Iowa or New Hampshire, and he won't, next month, and needed a boost in Nevada and South Carolina. He won't win Nevada, and he'll probably squeak out South Carolina, but he may not win that either. And even if she is not chosen for vice president, she would be a leading contender for a cabinet post, such as attorney general. God help us if she become attorney general. God help us. I know Bernie would not make her attorney general. Amy Klobuchar would. Joe Biden would. Joe Biden would, just to get on the campaign trail, shooting from the hip for him. But Joe Biden better do his research, because most of the black community, we are not into Kamala Harris. She will have no effect on the black community. That's why her butt is out the race right now, because she don't have any effect on her. We don't have high approval of Kamala Harris. For Mr. Biden, who is also working to consolidate support from Democratic leaders as Senator Bernie Sanders' progressive candidate gained strength, an endorsement from Ms. Harris would signal that the party leaders were rallying behind his candidacy and offering him a well-known surrogate to stump on his behalf as the race goes on. And that's the problem with the party, and that's why the people hate the party, because the party leaders are trying to determine who they want to run as the nominee instead of the people. This kind of thinking backfires and costs Trump. You did it with Clinton. The risk for Mrs. Harris would be if she were to get behind Mr. Biden, only to see him lose in California, which votes on March 3rd as part of Super Tuesday. California it will not go toward Joe Biden. Hang it up. A survey of the state's Democratic voters, listen to this, Democratic voters survey, conducted this month by Public Policy Institute California survey, found that Mr. Biden was in second place to Mr. Sanders of Vermont. And look, people, the lead is going to get bigger and bigger. Biden will not trend. Biden always, just like Hillary Clinton, Biden will hit a point and will not go any further. They had to rig this thing from Bernie Sanders, because Bernie would have kept on surging. Bernie came from way behind to finally almost catching up and passing her. But he was way behind. Right now, Biden was second place with Mr. Sanders of Vermont, but the poll highlighted the strength of the progressive bloc in the state. Mr. Sanders and Ms. Warren combined was capturing 50% of the vote. And see, the thing about this is how shady, this is me, Robert Brown, Bob TV talking, how shady Warren is. She would give her support to Joe Biden. She already done spit in the face of progressives with her accusation to Mr. Sanders. Now she's lost trust and support. Her 50% is going to go down, if this is true. Rose, what's her name? A longtime Democratic strategy in California said Mrs. Harris would not damage her prospects for re-election in 2022 by backing Mr. Biden. There will be no re-election for 2022. Not for Ms. Harris. The only way she could save herself right now is she do a stellar Oscar-worthy performance concerning Trump at the impeachment hearing. Let me keep going. But if Democrats were to lose the presidency this fall, and look like they will, if you screw Bernie Sanders, you're definitely going to lose. Because those independents going to go run back to Trump. And a lot of those independents, the only reason they went to Trump is because she screwed Bernie Sanders. Supporting him could shape how she was perceived by the left. Were she to run again for president 4 years from now? Nope, that's not going to happen. Senate seat is dead. Presidential hope is dead. Nobody wants you for president. Ain't no way you coming back for this. You're just like Hillary Clinton now. Coming back will hurt you and make you look desperate. It just depends on where she wants to go, Miss Cap said. Is she interested in the vice president position or cabinet position, or is she looking ahead to another campaign, or how she be positioned then? Folks, the only reason she ran is the Democrats want to prop her up as the next hybrid of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And when they finally put her on the stage and Gabbard, decapitated her with her record and her inability to defend it, makes her a weak candidate. She is not strong. Her prosecuting career, I can imagine, was nothing but show. The only time she really had some guts and galls is when she was DA and when she finally got elected to Attorney General. I wonder how her case load was, how many wins she had, how many loses. Because if you got a tough attorney. Anyway, let me get off this. She's done. She's not going to get a re-election. She's not going to ever be president. If she runs for president, it's her being desperate to stay relevant. It was too early for her to run for office, just like it was too early for Cory Booker to run for office. They should have took this time out to build this base. They didn't have what Obama had. I really believe Obama had a sense of urgency. We was in the middle of all these wars, and he promised us he was going to take us out of these wars, and he was going to take us out of this recession because Bush kept cutting taxes in the middle of war, which brought us into debt. Let me keep going. Bill Kirk, another California consultant, a consultant, and an advisor to Senator Dianne Feinstein. In other words, I don't want to call him a scum of the earth, man, but dude, it's people like you who make America look bad. And if we get rid of people like that, then we can really make America great again. And that's not a support of Trump. But look, I believe in making America great again. I don't think America is great as it should be. I believe America great. And America never been great. So there's no make America great again. We can make America greater. That's it. We haven't been great. We're a great country, don't get me wrong. But even a great country got a lot of bad stuff going on. And we can do whatever we need to do to make it greater. But here's this guy. He said it would be unlikely that voters in the state would make a judgment about the Senate race next time out based on who she's endorsed in the presidential race. But Mr. Carrick added that Mr. Biden's multiracial coalition, which is losing, overlap with Ms. Harris' own core base of support. What core base of support? That little itty bitty thing? That little itty bitty thing? She ain't got no support. What? What, the Deltas of Howard University? Sue-wee? That? Man, get out of here. That don't represent America. And it sure don't represent California. It represents the Deltas. Mrs. Harris' own core base of support, and that it would be illogical for her to side with him. She can side with him all he wants. She can side with him all she wants. All right, an Oscar Mayer hot dog is an Oscar Mayer hot dog, and putting the relish on the side don't make the hot dog better. Got to put the relish on the hot dog. You got to put the mustard on the hot dog. And these endorsements coming to Joe Biden are on the side. It'll never be on. And even if Joe Biden did put the relish on the hot dog by making her the VP, don't mean people gonna buy your hot dog, man. I'll be coming up with some crazy analogies. I'm sorry. See, the thing about it, Joe Biden already got a multiracial coalition thanks to Barack Obama. Barack Obama took that horrible racist and made him look like a cool person to the black generation that came in the early 2000s right now. That was a Barack Obama. He gave him the greatest makeover ever. And I hate to say it, my people who I love so much never goes and check the record. We fall in love with this TV image. We're too tied to the freaking TV. And we fell into this TV image of Barack Obama and this TV image of the person who he picked for VP, and not understand that was a political ploy. It's not because he had a record and he loved black people. It's because he was the only way Barack Obama would have won the Midwest. The Midwest did not like Hillary Clinton, and that's the reason why Barack Obama didn't pick Hillary Clinton, even though she tried to stronghold him into picking him. It was just would have been horrible, and Barack Obama would have lost that election to McCain if he didn't pick Joe Biden. Because you got to win the Midwest. You have to win them by the states, not by the popular vote to win the election, Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton Knights. So you can pop off your mouth, she had 3 million votes. More votes. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. If you don't know how to campaign right, you can lose. Running for office is a game of chess. It's about the movements. It's about taking down the objects. And Trump beat at that game. And Barack Obama knew how to win that game, and that's why he picked Joe Biden. And then here Joe Biden hanging out with Barack Obama doing all the cool stuff. When Barack Obama, to me, Barack Obama reversed that Stephen mentality. He made Joe Biden look like Stephen. Or he ended up being Stephen, because Stephen talked about Mr. Kennedy like a dog. But at the end of the day, Mr. Kennedy will pull Stephen card and whoop his behind. At the end of the day, he didn't own that PlayStation. He may ran it, but he didn't own it. And that's how Barack Obama was. And my people need to get off this TV and get on Open Secret or whatever website they need to do and check the record before they go out there and vote. And you'll find out, like I found out in 2016, that their record is horrible. I thought Barack Obama was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I was ready to crown Hillary Clinton as the greatest thing against sliced bread. Then I was told how to look into people's record. This TV image got me. And I'm telling you, people that's listening to me, get off this TV and go check people's record. My mama loved Barack Obama, and I'm not going to challenge her on that. That's my mama. I love her. Let her do her thing. My sister loved, I'm not going to challenge. Now, my brother's a little different because my brother's smart. He understands, these people are horrible, but this person isn't as horrible. But me, I'm not of that philosophy of the greater of two evils. But I can understand the strategic reason why you do what you do, because it's not just about the presidential election. It's about the people that are put as judges. It's about the laws that are passed and things like that. So sometimes you have to at least think about which one is going to be better overall for the country than the other, and that's how you pick. But me personally, I'm not voting for evil at all. And if we can get more people to think that way, then we'll never vote these evil people in office. But let me keep going. We'll look for the greater good, the person who has a track record of good, and we'll support them even if they look like they're the underdogs. But let me keep going. Bill Carniak headed that Biden multiracial coalition overlaps with Miss Harris' own core base of support, and that it would be illogical for her to side with him. She's going to have a lot of people allied with her who will be for Joe, he said. Like who? Who? She's losing. Let me go back. Kamala Harris is losing her support in California. And if you're losing your support in the state that you represent, what makes you think the country is going to support you? She will be lucky to be senator. She really going to have to prove herself and show herself strong and put on an Oscar-winning performance in that impeachment hearing. And that's what all of them going to do, including Bernie Sanders. The more I hear about this Russia crap come out from Bernie Sanders, more I'm turned off from Bernie Sanders. A couple of things already turned me off about Bernie Sanders. You know it. And I'm the one who came up with Bob TV, Bernie on Bus TV. I'm the one that started out in 2014, 2015, I don't know, after reading his book and looking at his record, that, this guy's way better than Clinton. I'm pushing him. I'm not going to sit there and like Clinton. I'm sure not going to like these jackleg dumb Republicans. And Donald Trump in the race. I'm not voting for him. I know how he is in New York. Why would I want that guy to do these things on a national level? So no. So she can endorse him all she wants. Joe Biden don't need her endorsement. That's the bottom line. She need him. Joe Biden don't need Kamala Harris. Joe Biden think on the strength of Barack Obama alone and his black friends in Congress, the Black Caucus, people like sold us out a long time ago, civil rights leader. Don't talk about him. I ain't gonna even mention his name. What you did in the past was great. But what you did in the 2016 election covering up for talking about Hillary Clinton, you saw Hillary Clinton them at the march for Washington with Dr. King. Talking about, and then you going out there campaigning for that known rigger, cheater, con artist, Debbie Wasserman shows. You lost my respect, John Lewis. I respect what you did back then, but that ain't enough for me to have respect for you now. But these are the people that's going to back Joe Biden. They don't need Kamala Harris support. All these people is going to back Joe Biden, and people that are older or people that are TV political savvy. And when I say TV political savvy, they get their political savviness and knowledge off of what the TV tell them what to do instead of them digging for the record themselves. So Joe Biden don't need her endorsement. She need Joe Biden. She need Joe Biden to probably pick her for VP. And the reason she gonna kiss his behind to be picked for VP is because, and Joe Biden's not gonna pick her for VP. He'll rather go with Warren. But the reason she's kissing his behind, and the reason that the thought is out there about her coming together with Biden is because she's scared she's gonna lose her Senate seat. So when all fail, when it looked like, who wants to? If I can help myself, I'm not gonna try to save something when I got something better in front of me. Why should I reach back when I can reach up? And she think having this buddy friendship with Joe Biden is going to help her come up. She don't need the Senate seat if she make VP. And now I think that is one of the reasons why Tulsi Gabbard is not running for office, because Tulsi Gabbard know that if Bernie Sanders win, she's going to be in the Bernie Sanders administration. If not VP, it's definitely going to be Secretary of State. Now, me personally, if I was a strategist, this is how it would go, and I'm going to be done. I will make the woman who's been by my side, who knows my heart and knows my passion and knows my vision for America more than anybody else, and I'm not talking about Jane Sanders. I'm talking about Nina Turner. Some people call the mammy of Bernie Sanders. I don't agree with that because she knows what she's doing. If he don't pick her for VP, I got a problem. Because she's the closest to his heart. She's the closest to his mindset. She's close to the vision. She is her hype man. She done won more, so many people heart toward him of all races. She got guts, galls, and balls. She don't take no crap from the party, neither party. She's not on that party stuff. She's even open to collaborating with other parties. Even when she ran Our Revolution, she told Bernie Sanders, look, Bernie Sanders, don't leave this only for Democrats. If there's Republicans that want to run on that platform, let them run. If they're Green Party people, let them run. And they left it at that. That's why she was in charge of Our Revolution. And she need to bring that to the vice presidency. Something happened to Bernie Sanders because of age, she would be a great filler in for that position. And she'll become the first black woman president. But not just the first black woman president. And boy, they're going to hate her on that. But one that will not take sides, at least from her record. And she can carry his vision. I believe Tulsi Gabbard will make Secretary of State better Secretary of State if she was in that administration. Why? Because she cannot do what she want to do concerning foreign affairs, regime change wars as vice president. She just can't. So why tie her up? Why would I want to be tied up? Me, if I had that kind of passion, I was like, thank you for the VP position. But I realized that's, I can't. I mean, I'll take the Secretary of State over VP. Why? Because I can really, really do what I've been fighting for. I don't want my brothers and sisters out there fighting for these dumb wars. So let me be Secretary of State or Secretary of Defense. I know I will make a great VP according to my record, but let me go ahead and do that. So I'm talking about Bernie Sanders' administration. Joe Biden, I can give you a scenario of everybody's administration. So I'm just giving you one, Bernie Sanders. And then that will set her up for 4 years, 8 years of presidency. Because I don't think Nina Turner would do 8 years. I think Nina Turner would maybe do 4 years at most. Because, I mean, once you hit VP, you can chill and just do your thing. You don't have to run for president. So if she end up being his VP and for some reason end up being the president, me personally, if I was her, I wouldn't be a president for 8 years. I'll be a president for 4. Because there's other things I might want to do. But Tulsi Gabbard been set up for 8 years with her age. See, that's, like I said, that's the reason why I believe that she's not running. Unless she's going to run for a Senate seat. But I believe she's running because she strongly believes that Bernie has what it takes to be the nominee if she don't become the nominee. And he will put her in one of the top 4 positions in the country. And which would, I can understand that. So if I was Kamala Harris, I'll kiss my butt. I see why she would kiss up to Joe Biden because she knows she's losing that Senate race right now. And the only thing that can save her is VP. Forget this, her being president next 2020 and blah, blah, blah. The only time she can be president is she got to show herself to be a great VP if Biden get elected. If Biden get elected. Once she hit VP, once you become vice president, you solidified in history. And you ain't got to ever worry about not getting a check. You ain't got to ever worry about not getting health care. You ain't got to ever worry about your kids not getting educated. Because the problem is that I have with leaders in Washington, D.C., the things that we're asking for is called socialism, but they have it. Even the Republicans have it. They're going to get a check for life. They got health care for life. They'll have no problem getting housing. They have no problem. Some of them, I can go on and on. Anyway, I'm done with this. Kamala Harris is said to be weighing in endorsement of Joe Biden. Why? Because she ain't going to be able to win that 2020, her reelection. She need Biden. Biden don't need her. At the end of the day, both of y'all are losers. I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report on the go. I'll holler at you later. Peace.